Greetings and welcome to the energy of Libra. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Welcome to the channel. Tarot of the Twin Sun is a functional division within the Order of the Twin Sun. I do welcome you to the channel and its contents. We'll go ahead and begin with the Great Mirror reading. The Great Mirror is a tool devised in order to see the significance between you and another. This could be a significant other, person, place, or thing, a project, a relative, anything. So we'll go ahead and look into that mirror. We also will have an extended that will be available for further clarity as well as guidance in terms of that. So I like to begin with a small reading. We'll see the energy of the karma, or perhaps the mental flux that revolves around the energy of the 7th house and Libra. Okay, this speaks of gaining power and still being influenced by a need that is based on logic, that is based on reason, okay? Yet following the heart, with Queen of Hearts here moving into the future. What could evolve out of certain modes of karma is a transference of power, becoming a master of your own reality. When it comes to the energy of Libra, there is a shifting here, a need to move from the Three of Swords to the Two of Swords, okay? There is a strong sense of self-empowerment, a strong sense of also becoming endowed, becoming completely within one's power, and also creating a very deep connection with whatever you're working with now, okay? This has to do with also really reaching deep down inside and understanding why things of the past have, especially things of, uh, in terms of memory, things from nostalgia or anything like that. If you're going through that period now, there's almost like a deadness to things of the past, and especially anything that had to do with pain from the past. It's like you've become numb. And perhaps you have clearly sought out a way to cut this out completely, becoming a master of your thoughts, okay? And this is a very good thing. This has to do with the realm of experience and coming up with ways of structuring that requires no tension, no stress, things melting away from the structure, okay? This is a very, very solid reading so far. But the Queen of Hearts shifts to the Queen of Hearts. Okay, now this has to do with resources and being resourceful in some respect. There's something about the Queen that can add an element of hard work into the energy of Purva Bhadrapada. Okay, Purva Bhadrapada has to do with the axis of Aquarius and Leo. Okay, I'm not seeing Leo here, but essentially I'm seeing a lot of Aquarian energy and the ability to become clear with one's inner world in order to bring out an outer world that is essentially very much geared towards the 7 plus the Ace of Pentacles that the Queen brings. Okay, this is an idealized version of coming into balance, especially with things left in the past, really coming up with a sense of truth and inspiration. The Queen also pulls from the Six of Cups. Queen of Cups pulls from Six of Cups, leaving regret, leaving anything that is difficult in the past. And this is a very, very good thing. Yeah, in terms of advice, once again, that Ace of Pentacles, the one that brings forth this element of hard work. I see within Cancer season and the solstice energy, the essentially the the new year, the zodiacal new year with solstice energy, there's a strong element of becoming balanced, working with the twins of Gemini, and also working with the austerities and the sacrifices and the ways of thinking, elevated thinking that require focus really on, excuse me, on the polarities of thought, bringing forth realities that are balanced. Okay, getting over regret. These are all common threads of the same sort of energy that I see for Libra. hmm This is all very good. Remember that newness. It's all about newness. If there's been order, disorder through the auspices of Uranus, okay, chaos, which has been this way since the last year, since March of last year, with the pandemic. Essentially, there is an order coming about, a new way, a new gateway, a new sun coming about. And this is a very good thing, a very, very good thing. There's that axis of Leo. Let's see this for a second. I wanted to fall out. When it comes to that numbness, or perhaps that questioning of why you don't feel bad, or perhaps why you are on some sort of intellectual high horse, if you will, of things that have died out, thought cycles that have died out, pain cycles that emerge from psychology, and the energy of Vata, the energy of wind, and there's something about that empowers you. It empowers you in which way? Yeah, cycles of non-regret are here. Non-regret, not being able to fall into that trap, which is a very good thing. Less thought when it comes to it. Also, there is a very clear-cutting sharpness to the mind that is fresh. Okay. Uh, okay. Mm. Mm. Oh yes. So I'll be working with the Gran Attilo deck, an old deck, about 130 years old. Um, for those that are new, this is a very special deck. The French school is very precise when it comes to astrological and Vedic astrological interpretations. Okay, seventh house is open. We'll go ahead and begin the Great Mirror now. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay. So it doesn't mean that you are trying to go for this connection. It doesn't mean trying. There's an element of, there's a division between trying and doing, and the soul contract, the soul urge, where you feel that power is naturally giving to this type of situation. Naturally, with Fambron, there is an audaciousness, a need to essentially go through in a realistic, pragmatic, logical, stamina-induced way towards this connection. Okay, the energy of Taurus is very strong here. So this pertains to the energy of Venus. Okay, Venus is naturally very giving. It has a system of values and a system of deposits that are naturally inclined to pleasure principles. Okay, to especially stories of romance, artistic inclinations. Okay, but these are very grounded in the energy of Taurus, and they are also very persistent, quite stubborn. But this has to do with the unconscious leaning within the connection. Okay, there's a type of leader that emerges that revolves around devotional practice as well as what one can grow and expand from within. The Empress, the path of the Empress is here. Okay, but it shifts. Empress is essentially an elementary combination of various suits in order to bring forth the element of the divine feminine. She's not here yet, but what is divided is the element of fire and earth. Okay, Pentacles, and with the femme de campagne, which is the Queen of Rods. There is an element here of difference, and what you're trying to bring about is newness. Okay, and something that you want. Okay, is elsewhere, and that there's this sort of division between two heads that govern. Okay, two necks that turn in opposite directions. Okay, what there also is a sense that truth is coming, and this truth, like all truths, are self-evident, and they do not need to be explained. Yet there is an element of psychic connection that is being willed into your way by the significant other. At the same time, this becomes truth for you. It becomes the path of clearing, the path of especially clear cutting. There's a sharp energy to you, as I've mentioned before, at least for the energy of Libra. And this activates mostly clarity of the mind and moving forward into the future. In what kind of way? Communicative as well as devotional. There's a strong signature here of clearly bringing about ways and modes of communication that are strongly linked to the higher good, to truth, to philosophy, to detached ways of clear cutting. Okay, and this is a very, very strong, powerful dynamic that we have here, because it involves the ability to shift or to turn the head and to exercise where you pay your attention to. Okay. There also could be a type of block when it comes to communication with this other, but we're going to go ahead and pull significant layers within the extended, at least two other layers within the Great Mirror to see how deep this complexity goes, especially with this Hydra-like sort of divergence between the Queen of Rods in the subconscious and the Queen of Pentacles in the unconscious. Okay. A lot of divine feminine energy coming in there. Now, so when it comes to the situation with the significant other, okay, within the Great Mirror, its reflections, there's a strong repulsion. Okay, it's not a bad thing, but there's this repulsive sort of energy that is polarized from the realm of attraction to the realm of diaspora. Okay, moving elsewhere. Taurus is very strongly enunciated here. Perhaps the unconscious sort of soul energy is telling them to repel in some sort of way, to move forward. There's a strong Taurus signature here of fixedness, and it also involves the ability to come clear and truly represent the gifts that Venus brings, okay? And these are slow gifts of sensuality, subtleties, okay? But because it's on the conscious realm for them here with the uh, Knight of Pentacles, there is a devotional energy that stems from them into the infinite, into something else, but it's based on realism, on realities, contracts, especially contracts that are of the head, and that are what I mean about that is that they're of the mind, and they're very strictly sort of adhered to. Okay, devotional, double devotional praxis. Yet, as you can see, the horse here wants to move elsewhere. The mind wants to move elsewhere, reflecting that sort of dual nature of where your head is. Okay, so there is this interplay having to do with where we are facing, where people are essentially being led, or where the vehicles of the mind are shifting. Okay, and everything is vehicle. I mean, if you think of it this way, we are souls essentially traveling um, through and with biomechanical suits, biomechanical bodies, in order to carry out the will of ourselves, or the will of source energy, higher power. Yes. So there's this horsepower element that they're strongly going through, yet there is also a strong need to move forward, a mimicry of the Queen and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, a story of chivalry here, bestowing purpose, bestowing an ideal, and you affect this person in that you give them a sense of mission or purpose. Okay, and this is to go forward with the same similarity that you are going forward. Yet unconsciously there is a strong connection towards that in which you can hold. Okay, as you can see within the cards, there's this holding, mirroring of the right arm over and under the pentacle, the new beginning. Yes. So in this respect, there is a type of quest and a mission that both of you share that is similar. Okay. It's about bringing forth realities or seeking realities. Yet, for the time being, you are inspired to do something else, and as they are as well. It could be that they are also, we're going to look deeper into what they are moving towards in terms of their external world. In the extended, we'll look deeper into that. But I have an instinctual inclination that they want to go that way, yet they're they're irrevocably driven back to the truth, back to this energy of air as opposed to the energy of earth. There's an ascendant path here that revolves around following the leader of the pack. Okay, this is the sun's energy with the Queen of Rods. Okay, the alpha female especially. And the horse is rather demure, as you can see. So this horse will constantly become in modes of stagnation or stopping and pulling up one hoof and potentially trying to turn. And that's the whole dynamic about this, because there is an idle sort of moving forward. Uh, it's as if this person is being led by the horse. Yes, being led by the energy of fire and the energy of the Ashwi and Kumar, which is the heady horse, the horse that is impulsive. Yes, um, so that is interesting. We're going to look deeper into that. This person is trying to bring about a reason for their change. Chagrin, okay, chagrin, which is the two of rods. Okay, as you can see, the rods here in the bottom are coming into a focal point. Okay, if it were this way, it would be different. It would be rather intense, uh, uh, rather impatient. But here there is a patience, there is a way of negotiating, especially through the energy of 10 and 2. The challenges and the massive sort of heights that one would like to scale. This is ambition, okay, chagrin, the ability to really to have gusto about life. There's a 3 and a 4 here as well, leading to the 7. Um, 3. There's a huge spiritual quest here. I don't know what this person is totally doing, but what I see so far is focus and determination in the face of adversity, needing to say something especially to the institutions of the external world that have developed around them, trying to find a sense of balance and equilibrium, equal force from a number of choices, mainly 2 of them. We can look deeper into what those choices are. Um, I think I will save that for the extended. But this choice essentially is very clear for them, okay? And it borrows from the same axis of view. There is a realm of fire and manifestation. Fire is creation. Fire is also something that is uncontrollable. It burns at its own will and is impulsive in design. It also is the source of enlightenment, and it also signifies what we can sacrifice. Okay, so there's a realm here of coffee, a realm of not coffee but chagrin and campang, a strong drive and ambition that both of you are taking right now, and this is a very good thing. Okay, a very good thing. Um, because it echoes so much. There's a lot of earth and fire energy. Okay, with earth and fire energy, the element that is produced, the product that is produced is glass. Okay, if you melt sand down with the energy of fire and blast it, there's an element of vitrification. Okay, and what glass is essentially a way of absorbing in coldness the heat of extremity. Okay, and what this does, it produces lens. It produces a way to reify light, which is enlightening. Okay, and this is a strong prismatic way of seeing the occult influence of this reading so far, of giving vision, of giving clarity. Okay, and this is positive. What they are dealing with right now is something that has lit a fire on their ass unconsciously. There is an element that much like you with compound, compound, there is an element of campaign. Okay, the ability uh, to strike forward and bring about conquest. Okay, to embrace ambition, to also expand in some sort of way with the auspices of Jupiter and the Sun, to really bring forward modes of expansion is here. Now with the 2 and the 8, there is an element of what exactly? Of working with others in a way that is hard working, but also devotional and also secretive in a way. There is an attraction here that is very strong, and there's an element that you can give to this equation in order to make that vision occur. Okay, so I think both of you are helping each other out in a very positive way, in a way of utility and extremity, in order to bring forward this element of ambition and drive that is unstoppable. It's an unstoppable force. Um, One thing that could be occurring here is the choice that is not taken from them, the path that is not taken from them. They're choosing one path, but both of them sort of symbolize the sameness, and you are just what you are doing is essentially taking that and also borrowing, creating a vision of your own within the external world. So there's a mutual respect here, independence, freedom, freedom to explore between both energies of you and the significant other, freedom of the mind as well. There is a supportive aspect here that is tied directly to the past. Okay, to the past. This is possibly something that they're returning to in order to understand why they have gone that way. Their vehicle may be telling them to move elsewhere. Their horse might be telling them to move elsewhere, to come back in some sort of way. But at this point, um, there's a great deal of an adherence to the quest, an adherence to the mission, especially. Okay, and we'll look further into that. Uh, okay, so okay. Something needs to be declared here. Something needs to be said. I think it's more from the agency of them to you. Yet, there's something that is unsaid, that is known, that has always been known from the agency of you to them. Okay? This speaks about authority, authority, especially about things that have been dictated or said in the past in order to find elation. If there was severance between you and the significant other, if there's a realm of silence, or if there's a departure of some sort in the past, that was able to give clarity. Okay, but now the karma is having to deal with explorations of the mind, but especially the deep mind. Something needs to be said or clarified in terms of what has been, what was that sort of change, that shift that brought forward new realities of clarity. Okay, some sort of emotional undertone is strong here, and what has emerged is a sense of dissension, a sense of, especially a provoked way of path work. Okay, what I mean by this is that there's a possibility of both of you challenging each other in order to make the paths of your own individual works clear. Okay, so with this, there is a challenging or utilization of path work, exploration of these, and then coming to the realization that the connection that both of you had was extremely nurturing, or is extremely nurturing, and will forever be some form of wealth, some form of wealth of some sort. Okay, but what I saw from especially the karmic reading from the bicycle deck, um, this deck in particular is very strong. Something about it, something about it that revolves around why, why, and not even questioning why. I mean, it was, but then the answer is there. I mean, the answer is clear. It has to do with this emotional undertone. Okay, but a departure of the mind is here, and why? Because of criticism and the understanding of very conditional and polarized strengths that have to do with this intense emotional connection. It's a creative connection. It's one that revolves around the idea of home and belonging. Okay, but the chariots are not working together. The horses of the chariot are not working together. There is a sense of dissension, disharmony, or inharmonics that lead to a connection that is known, yet it is not said or spoken about. Okay, this poses an obstacle. Two halves of the whole are here, with the Ten of Rods in the reverse, an invisible burden, yet something that is lighter than usual. Um, if anything, most of the inspiration that has been sparked within this connection, the key word is spark, has provided a way for both of you to machinistically, essentially move forward and depart and walk on different paths. Okay, this is an obstacle, but also this is a part of yoga. It's a part of two halves of the same whole. There is no separation here. Yet there is an invisible burden of the illusion of things being separate. Okay, with the 2 and the 6 here, it speaks of devotion to the greater good, to humanity, to the idea of something greater. And this is a good thing when if you think of it imagistically. It's as if all of these these seeds can be planted in the ovum, in the sort of great womb, and there is an obstacle, there is a prevention of that. So the great potentiality of various inspirational sort of praxis, ways of doing things, ways of manifesting enlightenment, bringing forward a visionary stance on things, it's all here. And I think your vision is elsewhere. We're going to look deeper into that as well, where you're looking, where they're looking, and why this connection is both an obstacle yet a springboard towards something, through the dissension that it brings, through the emotional wealth that it brings, that is very deep and suppressed, okay, but known about. It is very known about, is the thing. And perhaps this is what needs to be declared in terms of communication, okay? But this communication may come in the form of something ghost-like or extremely known, yet you have the capacity to bestow grace upon them, to give them a sense of mission or purpose, and likewise, okay. And this is a positive thing. Now, imprévu is here, okay, and this is not a good placement for the unconscious. Imprévu, which is it's essentially looking at the avenues and trying to improve the avenues of the mind. Why things have been prematurely, especially undiscovered, or perhaps something about it needs to be still a lesson, okay, and perhaps something needs to improve, or perhaps be sort of critically acclaimed, uh, as we see here. There is something about the authority of of the love here that needs to be sacrificed. That can be a crown for the way things have been conditioned, okay? The way things have been worn as a crown, okay? The critique card here, Crown of Swords, is on the king's head, okay? With the king looking over the cup of love, and trying to understand how difficult it is. Look at his other hand; he's clutching his garb, and it's very tightly fixed. There's something very tense and fixed about this king. Okay, fixed water, Scorpio energy, very intense. There also is a realm of critique, lending from the energy of air, especially Libra, but also this becoming a crown of swords for the king, okay? And something needs to be declared, something about the past, something that has been left. What is coming about? In terms of karma, are a detachment of some sort, also the energy of Saturn, what is expected throughout time, throughout especially an element of judgment or resurrection. Okay, there is a calling here and a mission, as I've mentioned, that revolves around the questioning of the Aquarian way. And I always speak about the Aquarian way in my readings, but essentially it has to do with the idea of detachment, unconditional modes of love and support for the common good, communities, as well as the branching out of the philosophic mind, psychic connections that cannot be explained but are known, the faculties of ascension, coming into a greater way of being in terms of the mind and the spirit and truth. Okay, these are all themes and motifs of the Aquarian way, but if it's in reverse, then there is a relishing of things from the past that have been severed. Okay, and trust me, I know. There's something about this person, okay, and this is the takeaway before I go into the extended. There's something about this person, especially about you, that is trying to understand the change or the shift within disorder of the mind, especially, and trying to sever out, cut out, in order to bring about truth and regulation within the truth, okay? But with all this disorder and this haziness, there's an ability to bring forth a vision, a mission that is strongly linked to parallel worlds or parallel realities that are that can be fused here, that show the infinitum or the duality of two separate realities, two separate paradigms between you and this other, that are actually part of the same axis, okay? The obstacle no longer is an obstacle. There is a point of conception. There's a point of bringing about, especially, a sense of newness. Yet, this newness, it involves respect, authority within one's own path, separate from the other, but also a noting or an understanding of commonality, civility, and a respect for each other. Okay, yet the emotions are something that are strongly linked to a realm of empathy, a realm of understanding, a realm of forgiveness between you and this other. Okay, yet you are still you still are trying to understand why this no longer wrecks your brain. It's like a common understanding, okay, and a realm of forgiveness and grace within all of this. Okay, now, that is the takeaway. I'm shifting formats, by the way. I think I will do what I want. So I'm going to spend more time with particular signs per month. Um, and well, I'll see if I'm going to do the bi-weekly. It doesn't have to be so. Um, but I'm going to go deeper, and I'm also going to be doing extendeds. I think I'm thinking about monetizing my channel as well. I didn't want to bring about ads into my sequence, my linearity, to to essentially come up with a pure sort of flow. But I think most of you have ads blockers. So if look into that for add-ons, or Brave browser is an excellent ad blocker built in. I'm not promoting them, but I'm just saying that if you were to use an ad blocker in the future for my monetization, that would be great. Um, Also, I think I'm going to include an applaud button on this. If that is so, please applaud me if it's there. And I do appreciate that, because I need to sort of realize and bring about artha, which is the idea of stabilizing within the Purushas, ways of energizing my channel with funds. And that's the only way I'm going to be able to continue doing this sort of content. That's what everyone says, but that's the truth. So yeah, that'll be one way. So donations through that, also through my PayPal link. I'm going to post that in the description box if you want to sling me anything in terms of that. Also, the extended will be in a link that will be privately given, emailed to you after a PayPal sort of transaction occurs, and you can see the extended for this particular reading. And now we're going to be going into a number of things that revolve around the Hydra, as well, the new paths that are being looked at in terms of parallel realities, how there is a mirror within that, how deep this emotional context goes, why there's an obstacle, why there still is some sort of need to improve upon the connection that is on a psychological level. Why is it psychological? Where the inspiration is coming from, and what this truth is in terms of communication. We're going to voice that out as well. But yeah, if this is where we leave off, then I do wish you well. And thank you for your likes as well as your subscribes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we also thank Maha Deva Lakshmi ji for her support of the channel, and the river of support that comes through her. Thank you very much, and wishing you well for this month. Bye, Libra.